Welcome to Horror News Radio for April 14th, 2023. Join us for news about the new Universal Monster movie coming out, a Conjuring TV series, a Screen Queen confronts Marvel's Blade. All this and more up next. I'm your host, Doc Rod, and this is HNR, official Gruesome Magazine Horror News Podcast. Back with you again this week are the scariest, goriest, bloodiest co-host on the net. Starting off with lead news writer for Gruesome Magazine, the one and only, say it with me, Dreher.
Woo!
Hey, look, Vanessa's here. Hi, Vanessa.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. So glad to have you here.
Thanks.
We have the whole team's here. We got the whole team here this week, Doc.
I like how he takes his introduction and says,
Yeah,
"Yo,
and he
let's
just
over here."
pawns it off.
We've only been doing it. We've only been doing it for like what, 2 years now. So
Yeah.
now I just expect it.
Also joining us, the living dead girl, Crystal Cleveland.
I know I'm excited about Vanessa too. Like it's like
We all are.
it feels like I haven't seen her in forever, actually.
It does.
Oh my
feel that
God.
way.
Yeah.
Been too long.
It is.
And of course,
yes.
joining us as well, as you may have guessed, is podcasting rockstar international conflict.
Oh, now I'm like, how are we gonna do her name?
Oh,
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Woo! Yeah,
Thank you.
we're really good at
Welcome
this.
back, welcome back.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Good. Very good. Very good. And there's just an explosion of horror going on right now
Oh yeah.
that I'm very excited about. I have missed a lot of it, but the one thing I'm not going to miss is that Evil Dead Rise that's coming out.
Yes.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
gonna miss that. Not gonna miss that.
Next week.
Yeah,
Next week.
I do like that the back of your room is haunted. That's awesome. I do
It
like
definitely is. Yes. Beware. But I got Daredevil looking out for me.
There you go. Well, then you're
Oh
safe.
yeah.
You're safe.
Mhm.
You won't see what's coming, but you're safe.
Yeah.
Was that a parking cone behind your seat too?
Wow.
Is that what it
Well, he will be a
No, not your
he's gonna be a monster.
What is it?
He's gonna be a temple monster, but right
Oh.
now.
Oh,
yeah,
I
he's
see it.
parking cone.
Oh, I thought it was Devo.
Oh, okay. I see it now. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
The mouth opening up. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. Hmm.
Getting there.
Okay, well, what we're going to do tonight is we've got some news that came out today, and we have some really fun articles. Each of us will have an article to discuss. It's a blast. I'm really excited about them. Every single article is like in my wheelhouse. I am so happy about this. Usually there's something like, but no, today it's like, so what's wrong, Chris?
You're making me laugh.
Well, let's get into it. Well, since Vanessa's back, Vanessa, why don't you start us off and talk about what James Wan might have in store for us?
Oh my gosh, yes, James Wan and one Peter Safran, which I think his name has become very famous recently, because he's working over at DC now, but he's going to be working with Wan at the newly named Max streaming channel, which is the HBO Warner Brothers combination, them coming together. But there is going to be the Conjuring series. Yes, and I am so very excited about this. Doc, I know that you're excited.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, this has to be one of my favorite horror franchises to come out of this new century. But yeah, Peter Safran is working on it with James Wan. Going to be doing James Wan is going to be executive producer. There's not a lot of details on it right now. Like, it doesn't say in the article whether or not the original cast is coming back or if they're developing off of a new story, but it does say it's going to be in the Conjuring world, which means we're going to be getting, more likely than not, seeing more of the nun, seeing more of the other characters that have come out, and then anything new that could come out of that little home museum that they have of oddities.
I think that would be great. Just focus on different little pieces and that. I mean, you can make it kind of like Friday the 13th did, and you know how they had.
They kind of touched on that on the what was it, the third Annabelle coming home or come home or something, where the kids were there, right? We saw that together, Doc. Kind of like a Scooby-Doo feel
Yeah.
a little bit in The Conjuring, but you know, they were getting in there and like expanding the stories of certain items in there, and I think if they did more of that, that would be really fun to see.
Too.
Yeah, I would be surprised if the original cast came back for the TV show, but I think that would be fine in this case, as long as, you know, because it's still going to be about the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine, in some manner. In the picture down below, is them. As you can see, the likeness is, you know.
Yeah, it's uncanny, just uncanny.
The attitude is there.
I don't know where James Wan is hiding in that picture, but but I can't wait for it. What about you guys, Crystal?
Oh, I love I love The Conjuring. I'm not as crazy about The Nun, but maybe this new movie will help. But I love Annabelle too. She's back there. Oh, you can't see. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I would love it. Patrick came back.
Yes,
oh my God.
yes.
I mean, come on. Like, that would be amazing. I don't expect it. And I don't really care. I don't even care if it focuses on the Warrens that much. I love the idea of them. And I mean, but a series, depending upon what kind of series it's going to be, is it going to be way more in depth? You know, you could, like I said, they could do the whole warehouse thing where they could focus on an item each, you know, episode, and then just have all sorts of stuff. If it's probably very loosely based, so they could just make up all sorts of things just for fun, you know.
Yeah,
I love lots of it, a lot of it. I'd rather have more than less. Or they could do just 10 episodes and make it more meaty.
Yeah, they need to have like some kind of thread between them all to make it cohesive. But it doesn't even have to be about them. It could just be about, after they're gone, then people are investigating all the items that they have, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? You in?
Yeah. I mean, there's a part of me that feels that this was like inevitable to happen at some point, given how popular, the series, how popular the films were. So Max is a great outlet for it. So yeah, in my mind, I kind of see it like a Kolchak type of thing. Maybe they'll just have
even better. Yes.
That would be good.
They'll do a little introduction type thing at the beginning. And, who knows though? It's hard to say where Mr. Wan will run with things, but wherever he runs, we will follow. We know that for sure.
Yes.
Well, Malignant.
Hey, I followed and I loved it.
Isn't he also doing the Godzilla?
No, but they have the Insidious, The Red Door is coming out this summer.
Yeah, that's this summer.
We're supposed to get the trailer for it this week, so that's going to be interesting. The first teaser trailer. Well, one of the big breakout stars for the past few years has been Mia Goth. I don't think any of us would deny that. She has, with X and Pearl and various other films, has just become the modern day scream queen, for lack of a better term, right? I mean, she is basically that now, and incredibly talented. She is up for this role and that role. Maybe she's going to be in Frankenstein from Guillermo del Toro, maybe not. But one role she's taking, and one thing that I'm excited, as a Marvel fan, and especially for a Marvel horror fan, is that she has been courted by Marvel to be in the new Blade movie that is set to start filming here shortly, and is set for 2024 at this time. We'll see what happens. But of course, somebody correct how to say it. I'm not going to say it, but Mahershala Ali. Sorry, I feel like I said that slightly wrong.
I can't prove you're wrong.
Is set to play Blade, taking over, from the 90s, the late 90s, early aughts. It's Blade, of course, is a half vampire, half human vampire hunter, a day walker, right? Whatever they plan to do, I'm excited for. I don't know if you guys caught the Werewolf by Night thing Marvel had on Disney Plus. It was absolutely fantastic. And there are so many horror characters that Marvel has that can be brought into existence, just with Blade alone and all the Blade stuff. But it's, open these doors and let's see what happens.
I love Blade. Okay, I even loved Blade Trinity. So I love Blade. Okay, I did. I loved it. He's one of my favorite characters. I love the whole concept of his mom being attacked while pregnant and making him. I just think he's BA. So, and I mean, I'm all for it. I can't wait. I'm just excited about more Blade. I was really thinking that I know that photo.
Yeah.
I know. From Pearl.
It's hard to look at without laughing. But I think he's gonna do. I think him picking up the mantle. I think he's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think he's perfect for the role. I can't wait for it. And he is definitely a very talented actor. And of course, Mia Goth is very talented too. And I can't wait to see what she brings to the film. Who knows? I have no idea who she's going to play.
Look at her cute little nose. Like, it's super cute.
Oh, that's from the finale of Pearl. If you haven't seen the last scenes of Pearl, oh my gosh, that it is the most uncomfortable last few minutes of the film I think I've ever seen. She is absolutely fantastic. Even the films I don't like that she's in, I like her in them.
Yep, I get it. Yep.
Yes, please be good, Blade. I just
We do. Well, I mean, I feel like it's going to be. They had a script, they had everything ready to go, but when Ali took a look at it, he did not like what he saw, and they shut it down and rescheduled it and got a new screenwriter, and that means somebody gives a shit. And
well, that means that they are banking on him, because for them to just not go, well, let's get someone else, they really like him. So that must mean he's perfect for the role.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he will.
So that's good. And I mean, it's all about him anyway. So
yeah, I really hope to get some Midnight Suns action, like that this spills over into that. So, and I think she's going to be a great addition to that whole world.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that makes me sad is it won't be as like early 2000s ravey as I
I
wanted.
know.
You're not gonna have
Oh
a
my
rave
God,
with the blood
the
flowing.
scene with the blood.
If they don't
It's like
recreate
my
that, I'll be a little
favorite.
disappointed.
It's one of the greatest scenes ever. I remember, like, God, I was watching it while I was pregnant, and I remember my sister was like, "What is wrong with you? Your child is going to be the devil." Because I was like, isn't it beautiful?
And Dave, you said that of the Marvel films and Marvel characters, Blade is one of your favorites.
Yeah, I always enjoyed the Blade film, even the third one, like Crystal was saying. I enjoyed that one. The only thing that really concerns me about this one, and again, I know not much about this, but the screenwriter that I've been following it for a while now, and that screenwriter that they brought in has never written horror. He's always just written like social commentary. Been very most of his stuff is like activist type of stuff. That doesn't make him a bad writer. I'm just not sure he can write horror. And that makes me concerned that this is going to become more of a statement film than a horror film, which I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. No way of knowing.
That could give it some weight that it needs, though, at the same time. So
very well. That's the only thing that makes me kind of go.
Yeah, if they do it if it's just like all in my face, then I'm like, okay, we get it. But if it's just a hint, then I like it. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it if it's handled right. So,
I mean, most monsters kind of are that, right? They're and Blade can be too. All right. Well, as we find out more about it, I am going to share it here on this here.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about it, you know that. Another thing I love is Universal Monsters, and Renfield came out this past weekend. I wish it had done better, but the film is fantastic. Universal is starting to talk about another Universal Monster movie. Is that right, Dave? What news do we have?
They are indeed, Doc. What a lead-in. That was amazing. And it's interesting with this news because how much information we have, yet we really don't know anything, which is hard to pull off. But what we do know is that the gentleman behind Radio Silence will be directing this, and of course they've been on a roll, right, ever since Ready or Not, and the Scream remake, and now Scream 6 has just been out. These guys can do no wrong. So they have cast Melissa Barrera in this untitled monster thriller at Universal. That's all we know. Untitled monster thriller. Although the beans were spilled a while back, the next bullet shot out of the chamber at Universal would be Dracula's daughter. But they've since kind of gone out of their way to poo-poo that that's what this film is. So we don't really know. We do know that there's a script and it was written by Stephen Shields. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But I'm all down for any type of new reimagining, because what, we already had The Invisible Man, great, right?
Yep.
That was awesome. Dug that. So, and you know, Renfield, of course, is not doing well at the box office, but those of us who have seen it, I think, would agree that it's a really fun film.
The reviews are great, like across the board for that one.
Yeah, I don't know
where
pick up.
I don't know where the fans are. Why didn't the fans?
Yeah.
That freaking Luigi and Mario just sucking all the money out. You know,
good.
so but this thing's heading into production. We're gonna have to just wait and see what it actually ends up becoming. I don't know, but I have been a fan of Miss Barrera's work with these gentlemen, the last two films. I know that opinion may not be shared by everybody here. but
Jeez.
I found her to be quite good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know nothing, sir. I am not reviewing her movies right now.
Look out for that bus. Look out for that bus.
But so what do we think about this? Or is this something to do? First off, do we think it's Dracula's daughter?
I'm 100% sure.
I don't know.
I would be
I
surprised
mean-
if it's not. I would be surprised if it's not. Sorry, Vanessa, I talked over you. What'd you say?
Well, no, I think it would be great casting for that. She seems like she would fit whatever that story would tell pretty well. But, you know, it could be anything, right? Because they haven't really alluded to whatever else they're working on right now.
Right. Well, there was this news article that came out, a Hollywood Reporter talked about it, and that it was one point it was going to be Dracula's daughter, and it centered upon a group of kidnappers, who abduct a group of young people. Among them is Dracula's daughter. So and then suddenly all those articles disappeared. So that seems to me to be very suspicious of it actually being true.
But there's also this floating around out there. They're saying this untitled monster thriller will provide a unique take on legendary monster lore and will represent a fresh new direction for how to celebrate these classic characters.
Maybe it'll be more than just
What does that mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm like, I feel a little too dumb for that statement. I'm like, what?
Like, I don't know.
It implies that maybe more.
Them.
More of a monster mash. Maybe we'll have a bunch of.
Like that stuff is fun,
but
I don't think we need to get away from like the OGs either. You know, like I don't think we need to lose that.
I think I would like to see a werewolf. And what if they are doing it as a female instead of a male?
That could work. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, because I mean, we haven't had a good werewolf movie in a long time. I know it's hard and I know they're expensive, but I mean, if anyone's going to do it, Universal.
I was going to say, Universal's got the money. I don't want to.
Yeah.
They got
well,
the
it's like their namesake too. Like, how dare they make bad monster movies? You know?
Yeah.
That's right. You tell them, Vanessa. That's right.
We're not going to talk about the movies they've made in the past decade or so. But okay, so I'm really excited that Radio Silence is doing this. I've liked them for quite a bit since VHS came out. They did a great job reinvigorating Scream, and then they pumped out the sixth one, the one that came out this year, within 12 months of the first one. So they filmed 5 and then turned around and filmed 6 within a year. So we could be getting this Universal monster, early next year into spring. So
I'd be okay with that.
That would be awesome. I mean, it's probably better for October, but who follows those rules anymore? April's
Exactly.
insane.
Yeah, look at April.
Yeah,
I love all if it is vampire related, I love all the vampire content that we're getting right now, though, because it's been really great. Like that Demeter, Last Voyage of the Demeter that's coming out looks really fun.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Oh, yes. That trailer came out last week, and it has a more bat-like vampire. You need to check out the trailer and check it out. It looks like it's going to be quite scary too. Not like Renfield, which was more humorous, but don't miss Renfield. Renfield is, oh my God. I will just say, we're getting ready to record a review for it later, but I haven't clapped in a theater out loud in the middle of a movie. I don't know how you don't clap out loud, but I haven't done it in a theater during a movie in a long time. And there was a scene in there, Dave.
I know just what you're talking
that
about.
I just went, ah! It was like
God.
great. Oh my God, I was so happy. All right, let's move on because we get to talk about this. Another Vanessa, another company that I really like because like I said, this is all like in my wheelhouse. What company could that possibly
You're a Blum
be?
humper. You're a Blum humper. You hump Blum, and that's just a fact, okay?
So,
We know you love Blumhouse, and it's okay.
So
And
do we have
speaking of
any
Blumhouse, if you remember, James McAvoy was working with Blumhouse on Split and Glass, and he is going to reunite with the production team again for the remake of Speak No Evil, which was a 2022 film that I apparently have seen and not seen, question mark. But it's, I guess Danish and Dutch. It's about a Danish family that visits a Dutch family they met on holiday, and it was supposed to be a really nice weekend, and it starts to unravel as the Danes, this is a quote, not my interpretation of the Danes. The Danes try to stay polite in the face of unpleasantness.
Damn that unpleasantness.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I know. I think that's where I think a lot of the turmoil comes from. But they are screaming in that photo of the car. But I do love James McAvoy, and I think he's so talented. And I think that obviously Blumhouse puts out a lot of good winners. Not all of them, but most. So I apparently don't remember much about this film, which probably means that maybe the story is there and it does need to be remade. And it needs a little bit more, influx of something. Unpleasantness. Yes.
It's a ramp up that unpleasantness.
And it should be coming out summer of 2024.
Which
so
is
next year. Yeah. So I'm excited. I swear I had read somewhere that James McAvoy was stepping back from acting as much because he wanted to focus on family, but I'm thrilled to hear that he's going to be in more. I think he's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Speak No Evil, the 2022 original, is currently on Shudder if you want to check it out. Of course, we love Shudder. I'm
going to have to go watch it again.
I know you are.
After I'm like, well, I just wish I could remember. And then I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah. I remember now.
Yeah, I remember.
Wow.
Anybody got any comments about Speak No Evil? Is looking forward to it or need more information?
Yeah, well, anything that he does. He's like y'all have said, he's such a good actor, and he really can embody so many different things so believably. So who knows, I don't know anything about the original movie, so who knows what he could do. I'd love to see him do the darker things, kind of like when he did Split.
Me too.
Where he does that character,
He's so good when he's bad.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch The Golden Compass, the Dark Materials? It's actually his Dark Materials, the HBO show. God, he was so uncomfortably bad and good in it. I was like, made me very uncomfortable because of how kind of horrible and kind of good he was. Yeah, I'm really excited.
I think a lot of fans probably remember him from the X-Men films too, the new generation or the next generation, whatever they called it.
Oh yeah.
The first generation, or what they call it. But
yeah,
he was the younger Professor X. First class, yes, and he did a great job there too. So and like you said, inside and in Glass and inside Split, those films, he changing from character to character was amazing. I mean, he did a couple of them right on screen, right real time, and it was just amazing to watch him transform. So I'm excited to see whatever he brings. And of course, it's Blumhouse, so hey, I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'm the easy sell.
Yeah. But admittedly, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I'm not as much of a Blum humper, but I've got to be honest. Usually I'm like, well, even if it's bad, it's usually kind of good. So
yeah. You want to hate it more than you actually can sometimes.
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
You want to hate it more than you actually can?
Some of them are real stinkers. Some
Yeah.
of them are real
Mhm.
stinkers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
well,
See, yeah.
They have a good formula, though. They have a good formula. At least.
Yes. And they've done so much for horror. It's like
Yeah.
I really appreciate them as a company because they're constantly churning out stuff.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
All right. Well, that's our news for this evening. Let us know what you think of the Conjuring news for the Max, the Discovery and HBO Max get shoved together as Max. Mia Goth in Blade, which is awesome news. Melissa Dreher joining Radio Silence for some Universal monster movie that may or may not be Dracula's daughter. And James McAvoy in Speak No Evil from the legendary filming company. Not legendary, but
dear
Blumhouse.
God. Yeah, you did.
It will be legendary one day.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, I agree. It's true.
Let us
Prophetic.
know what you think. Comment down below. And if you like the news, please hit the like, subscribe, share with a friends buttons. They're easy and free to do, and each click will help us find more fans
Yes.
just like you. All right. Crystal, Dave, thanks for joining me. Vanessa, welcome back. We're so glad to see you.
Woo!
Glad to be back.
It was fun, as usual.
I hope you
Cool.
return again, please, sooner than later. All right. Well, with that, let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Oh, boy.